we go. Alright. Let's do this. So, hello there, everybody. Welcome back for another week of Wargames Tutorial Thursday with your host, your favorite Finn TMS. This is the weekly unofficial live stream show about the news of the Interstellar Marines and also a community wargame. Every week, Thursday, etc., etc. Yada yada yada. You probably know the drill by now. Or else you would be watching this. I doubt there's any new videos. However, without further ado, let's get to news about yeah. Sorry for the lack of them lately. I've been taking care of myself. I've been on a sick leave. My kalium levels have been, I guess, kalium or potassium, whichever you prefer to call it, have been low. And for those who don't know, it affects your heart and all that jazz. And I have been recovering, basically. And now I'm more or less back to normal. Nothing too serious, just having low levels, which are causing various things. So, yay, I'm on the heart medicine now. Sort of. We'll see. So that's why I haven't been doing much streaming or anything lately. On top of that, the whole... I don't know, life has been rough. I don't know, it's something about this... I don't know. This part of the year always seems to be relatively hard. But for once I have been... I have gone to the toilet and taken care of the lights and everything before the stream started. You know, all that jazz. Unfortunately, though, there really isn't that many news. The animators are working on stuff. They're still learning the ropes, some of them. What do you call it? More or less, like, I mean, they are working on the animations. They're still having some issues getting them into the game. You know, the whole porting seems to be the problem, if I understood correctly. People are working on texturing and all that jazz. Like, I saw the new textures for the weapons, and I gotta say, it looks pretty cool, although, because they were so shiny and new and all that jazz, those new textures did not fit the game at all. However, the guy who's been working on it also said that he's more or less doing it what do you call it? Doing it for everything. So not just the weapons, but just a second, I have to take part of this conversation. Anyhow, yeah, planning on texturing more or less everything. I have seen some stuff about the whole, well, I said, stuff about the engine upgrade, more or less nothing news about there. I'm fairly sure I mentioned it last time, but, yeah, it was, towards the end of the video, well... Ow. It was towards the end of the video, but I did ask some questions from Spectra, who happened to be at the chat at the time, and he mentioned that the engine upgrade more or less means new graphics, better graphics, and better performance. Which, that claim doesn't go hand in hand, but there's hoping, eh? Haven't seen any news about the pistol, though, or anything like that. But then again, I haven't really been bothering them that much. But I'll make sure to get some stuff for next week. Hopefully. Maybe try to harass Kim into submission to get into the, what do you call it? The interview? Who knows? Although, from what I could tell last week, he's been extremely busy with his other work, you know, doing literally around the clock shifts and stuff like that. So I don't want to bother him too much. Not to mention he's getting a bit of anxiety with, you know, people not doing stuff, documenting and all that. Oh, and also it seems like some of the volunteers, well, they are indeed working. They are also, you know, have been doing their own stuff too. So they have taken a small break after all. They are volunteers. Can't really blame them for that. They are working for free after all. But while it is quiet, there are some stuff going on the background, so no worries about that. And I'll do my best to make sure that next week we have some good shit. And in case anyone's wondering about the whole PUBG drinking game that... Hello, Joe. There's that wonderful headshot you enjoyed last time we played. But what? Oh. Oh. The CTRs are headshotting me. Damn it. So yeah, whoever, if anyone's interested of the PUBG drinking game that we have, hello. It's more or less, whenever you get a kill, or you down someone, you drink. It's either or. You don't drink for downing and killing. Just one of them. Same, if you get downed or die, you drink. Oh no, that looks horrible. But it doesn't seem like they spotted me yet. But however, if you get revived and you get downed again, that's when you drink. But if you get downed and then die directly after without getting up, you will drink. I mean, just once, whatever. Whenever somebody tells a bad joke, you will drink. Whenever you go to military base or exit the military base, god damn it with these bots, you drink. Whenever you find a sniper rifle, you drink. If somebody else has found it already, then you don't need to drink. Only when you actually find it. When you are the first one to find it, even if it's on the dead body of an enemy. Whoever looks at that bag first. Damn it, right behind me. Fucking cheater. FBW.
Access to satellite uplink towers initiated.
What else there was there? Blah, 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 blah. Every time you find a silencer, you drink. You don't need to pick it up so long as you find it. What else? Are we? Damn it! Joe, fuck off, mate. I'm trying to get my shit back. I'm getting sidetracked here. Every time you find your special weapon, you will drink. For me, that would be VSS. Down, boy. Which, well, you guys decide amongst yourself whether you count VSS and Winchester as a sniper rifle. Hello? What else? What else? Well, Bleed Out is getting them points in the ops. Shit. Every time you win, you drink. Every time you lose, you drink. I can't remember. Oh yeah, it should be noted that the special weapon is one of the rare weapons, not just something like M4 or M16. Although, if you want to really read Drink for every other read. Drink for all of that, then your funeral. Whenever if you roll a car over and it sticks on the roof or the side, so you can't use it anymore, you drink. I don't know. I guess for every melee kill. I don't know. We make up some rules as we go. That headshot though. However, some of the points are missing. Hello, are you a player? You are. Oh, that was a player indeed. Right next to me. I can't believe I didn't see him. Yeah, well, I guess that's about maybe half of the rules for drinking games in PUBG. I can't remember, to be honest. That is a problem. Who killed me anyway? Ah, FBW. I saved them ass and that's how they repay me. Seems legit. I'm sure I'll come up with some of the rules as we go. And looks like FB Joe, I'm trying to work here, trying to find where they are. Wives. But yeah, those are for now the drinking game rules that we go with. It's tons of fun. Of course, stick to your limits. Stop when you don't. Come up with your own rules. Do whatever the fuck you want. Although last time we did have a drinking game, I did go a bit overboard when I had poured some vodka. Well, essentially, it was vodka into a glass at the bottom. And then I forgot about it. And I was like, I forgot to make the rest of the drink. I had all the bottles on the table. And I was getting really thirsty and I noticed like, oh. Industrial. I noticed the glass of water on the table. And I was thirsty, so I had a good chunk of that. Which was, well, all of the vodka, essentially. And, yeah, that was a funny experience that I didn't expect. I did swallow it all. And, I kept going with the drinking game. Kept on going with it, no problem. But when it didn't take long for it to finally hit in. And I went over my usual limits. Did not lose the self-control though, but let's just say the match that we were playing, I was kind of fully out of it. And when I say fully out of it, more or less, I mean like, how would I explain it? Like, I know we started somewhere. We ended up in the military base. I don't remember where. I think we dropped into the Georgia Pole at the containers. But what happens in between the military base and Georgia Pole is kinda on and off. Like, I seem to have, like, just essentially, in the lack of better terms, passed out Like, I was just automatic mode, like a bot. I was just playing. I know that much, but I can't remember the stuff that happened in between. All I remember towards the end is that we finally got the military base. And there was a box and some people, and I did get kills during that match. And I was the last one left and almost won the game, I think. I can't remember, but
Access to suborbital docking bay initiated.
I'm fairly sure we didn't win it. I can't remember. That is the problem. But it was fun as hell. If not anything else, playing PUBG drunk is just a blast. Normally I freaking hate that game, but I suppose when you're drunk like that, it's pretty blast. Would I do the same with the Wargames? Well, no. The maps are too small for that. Like, I don't know. And also the players are kind of meh. I mean, all that jazz. So, people are probably done in this. Oh, god damn it, industrial. So, I'll just go mountains and then through there to hell. And then to the suborbital docking bay. But on a random note, once again, I've been wonderful forum warrior at the forums, where once again it has brought people have brought up how ZPS supposedly is focusing on the PvP. Hello there, you Jazzmaster. I know what you're about to say about. I know who you are. You're the ghost, a ghost. But anyway, oh, by the way, I'm here. Ore Sanjo. I'm fairly sure you get that reference. Maybe not. Who cares? And I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the forum topics once again is like, Serpius is focusing on PvP content only. Blah 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 blah. And to which once again I asked them, all right, care to indulge on that? How are they focusing on it? And nope, just they were saying that Serpius should just make the story. God damn it! Hello. Who shot me? Power Mango. So something dark side. Damn it! I keep losing my train of thought. Yeah. So there was no. Oh, of course it's a jungle. Of course it is a jungle. Oh, hello jungle. So, once again I ask about the whole. All right, well, care to indulge on the idea? And no, they were just saying that ZPS should create the story-driven co-op experience. Just focus on it. They don't have the resources to do the whatever PvP competitive game to compete with other PvP games, which is not what they're doing. And you know, that's kind of a. Whenever I see that answer, I just want to punch someone in their face. Because that is the most ridiculous shit I have ever heard. And I'll explain to you in great detail now. Why is that? So, we have ZPS developing on this game. We have list of features that are simply implemented. Actually, I should get to the problem of it. This whole problem is caused by the fact that people don't seem to think at all what they are reading or hearing. Basically, the problem is that the new features are on the multiplayer. They are not making co-op things, they are just adding features, and since, you know, they don't need to create new maps or anything for multiplayer, just simply add the feature and all that jazz. They say that the ZPS is focusing on the PvP because of that. When in reality, The thing is that that's exactly the same feature is going to be in co-op, because this game is quite literally multiplayer based. There's nothing to it. They are basically cutting corners by this whole thing. Because all the same features that are in the multiplayer will be directly on a co-op. That's why they are adding them to the multiplayer. Also, they are doing it because the multiplayer simply has the biggest and the most active test group. It is pure math. If you're going to test a feature, especially with the players, you will always pick the largest and the most active testing group. It is just math. The sad fact is that even no matter how much people want these co-op things, it's simply the inferior group. People don't play co-op missions, no matter how they say. They will only play that co-op mission once or twice. First maybe on easier difficulty, then with the harder. After that, what are they gonna do? Fine, done it, seen it, there's nothing to do. Maybe they might go explore for Easter eggs, who knows. But overall, they'll probably spend total of 1 hour at most, at the level that you can literally beat in 5 minutes. And once you figure that all out, well, there isn't much to do there. Sure, there are some people who want to and like to spend days on content that is literally 5 minutes overall. But once again, we get to the whole point that so they want these story-driven, exciting campaign missions. Well, no matter how much you want that, they want co-op missions, that's fine, but what they don't realize is that currently, all of the features, basically, the only goal you have to create a co-op mission with is to simply kill the enemies and get to the goal at the end of the level. Essentially what Nucleus is. Maybe you add a few key guards or something like that. Just basically there is nothing for a player to actually have exciting co-op missions. You can't create exciting co-op mission with just being ability to kill shit and pick up ammo. Although, let's be clear here, maybe somebody like escaping from, I suppose a good example would be Return to Castle Wolfenstein, or just Wolfenstein in general. You start by escaping from the prison. That's, I suppose that would be exciting, but, even Wolfenstein, that, I suppose that's what people would like. That's fine, but that's not what Interstellar Marines is all about. They... how would I explain it? There's, these... Oh, subarctic? Alright. Well, let me just explain without spoiling too much. I have said this, this is spoiler-free, but the first mission of the First Contact involves you and your friends infiltrating a weapons factory. Alright? Sounds pretty cool. You have the objective, right? But how you do it, basically, how do you get to that objective of yours, getting the whole infiltrating part into the factory? That's when the things get a little bit more complex, because there will be friendly AI. There will be neutral AI, and there will be enemy AI, basically. You can interact with the NPCs, essentially, and figure a way to get into the factory. It is basically a drop. Imagine if this was the map, this whole Wargames things was the map. Maybe hell here, this is the weapons factory, right? And we have this whole area to play around with, just figuring out how to get to that weapons factory. You'll have NPCs, you have various skills and equipment that allow you to maybe take a different path that you normally wouldn't take. But, yeah, that sounds exciting and all that, right? Yeah, that is exciting, but they don't have the fucking features. They can't do that. They don't even have the leaning in. They're just working on it. All those things are missing from the game. They are working on the better AI. They have really basic AI right now that sucks ass with these CDRs. And they are working on making it better. That is why they can't make these epic, awesome co-op missions. Because if they could do them, they would be doing them right now. Instead, they work on adding all those features they need to make even, well, basic stuff in. Like, that's cool. Maybe you could have a grappling hook that you can throw on the wall. Yeah, that's awfully specific feature there. When they don't even have the leaning in. That is my point. Like, they are lacking on the feature list. Just the basic core features are not there. And people want these freaking amazing, cool shit that just... come on. Get your realities together. Like, for real, sis. People have unrealistic expectations. And not only that, they don't realize that, you know, the people that are currently working in the game, there's just 2 devs, essentially, and the volunteer army. It's like, you really expect them to be doing this. Meanwhile, back onto the argument that, alright, so, you know, as I said, they are not working on a PvP. Rather, okay, let's get back. So, they are not working on the co-op missions. That means they are working on a PvP, right? No. Again, let's get to the core of this. So, we have a feature list. Okay, let's say, I use this example in the forum. We have a list of 20 features, and 3 of those, maybe, are Wargames exclusive. Alright, so we got 17 other features that are literally required for the entire game, no matter what game mode it is. How the fuck and in what twisted reality is that focusing on the PvP? Because there are only 3 for the Wargames. That's another argument. Oh, they're focusing on Wargames. But there are like 3, like, in the sake of the simplicity. I'm saying 3. I haven't even checked if they are working on any of the Wargames exclusive stuff right now. That can't be used on anything else. But the point is, like, alright, so we got, that's what? Under 10%. Actually, that would be maybe 15%? I don't know. 15% Wargames, 85 on the entire game. And people are like, oh, they're focusing on PvP. No! They are quite literally just making the fucking game. Like, it's so dumb. And then it's like, oh, well, you know, they are focusing on a PvP because those features are getting added to the multiplayer. Which, again, it is the biggest test group to test that stuff with. It is the most active test group. And it is the easiest to implement the shit on. Because you literally don't need to change the maps or think about the storytelling or aspect, how it will affect the game and all that. You don't need to create or do a co-op mission with the limited shit. Like, if only people would realize that, you know, once they have enough cool features to make a co-op mission, they will do that. Right now they don't, which is why they are not wasting their few resources left. Like, that's another thing. They keep saying that the Vesuvius doesn't have the resources or the time or the whatever to work on the PvP. It is precisely that's why they are doing this, just adding the minimalistic approach. They are doing as little extra work as possible. Hello? There. So, essentially... Oh, they just took it. They are doing literally the smartest possible thing. Like, alright, let's just implement this new feature in the mode where it takes least amount of work, while getting the most, what do you call it? The biggest results, too. Come on, let me take this back. Oh, mother... AKA, they are saving those resources and also making the feature list bigger that they can use to make even more compelling co-op missions later down the line, without having to rely on trying to make exciting missions with just being ability to kill shit. Oh, hello. Where are you? Oh, so much for that. Oh, right there. Gotcha. Oh, that freaking headshot. Wow, Power Manga is on fire today. So yeah, people, just think about it more than just what do you see at the first glance. Just because it's added to something that takes least amount of work and yields most result doesn't mean they are focusing on that. They are just building the game. And that is the point I'm trying to make. They are not focusing on anything but making the game. Not a PvP, not a co-op, just the game itself. And even things that get added to Wargames, let's say these satellite towers, for example. Alright, one could say that is Wargames only. But later down the line, the stuff that was used to make this, including the code and the model, can be reused literally on anything. All these towers, it's just one tower that has been copy-pasted to all of the maps. So, who knows, maybe we'll see a co-op mission where you do need to activate it. It's just another trigger. Well, really, the only new thing about this whole... the only thing about the satellite tower really is the animation of it closing and opening. Because I'm fairly sure this satellite itself, the whole dish part, it already exists. Like, all the models, it's just put together assets. Like, there's nothing new about this. Just the structure itself that has been put together from the bunch of assets that are already in the game. The only difference is that they have reused, essentially, triggers that, well, start the animation for the turning. I suppose you had to do the animation, but yeah. Like, there's literally nothing new about the whole satellite, except as a whole, the satellite isn't new. Everything in it, however, like each piece, already existed before. It just was given animation and some triggers. And that's really all there is. So in that sense, the satellites didn't actually add anything into the game. They were just created from the existing things.
Mountains. Drop crate. ETA 60
Which,
seconds.
I was gonna, I was gonna say they can be reused. But really, they've been created already from reused things. And that's the whole magic about this thing. Everything you see here can be more or less reused, including the server structure. Well, I mean, it's inconvenient, but who knows? It can be used for some co-op related shit. Who knows? And people might say, well, the Wargames as a whole... Oh, hello. Wargames as a whole is... what do you call it? A PvP only. And again, that is wrong, because there is a single player / co-op variation of Wargames that is in the game. Well, it's planned, or more or less. It's not currently in game now, but we have seen concept art of the menu before. And in that concept art, you could clearly see there was a single player / co-op challenge for co-op. So again, people might be saying the whole Wargames shouldn't exist, they should stop working on it, but it's going to be co-op and single player too. It's probably not going to be exactly the same as it is in multiplayer, but basically all of this stuff that you see here can be just... All you need to do is change the game mode. Set it to co-op. They have done it before. It worked out pretty... It was interesting, let's just put it that way. Where every single player was on the same team. Like, they accidentally set the Wargames server on co-op mode. Which, it was quickly reset. But basically all the players were in the same team. They shared the points and all that. You couldn't change the team, or really, if you shot another player, you got a team kill out of that. Actually, I think you didn't share points at that point yet. I can't remember anymore. But the point is that, really, to make this co-op, all you need to do is just swap the game mode. That's all it is. Co-op is a multiplayer game mode. Now, granted, it's not gonna really work out in its current form. Well, because it would be just war games against bots, and that's not very entertaining now, is it? And that is another problem where we get, like... But that people don't understand about the fucking co-op is that, while technically you can make anything co-op, that doesn't automatically make it more entertaining. But the point is that all of this stuff that is in the multiplayer is in direct... It is literally, like, if something gets added to the co-op, it is literally... I mean, in multiplayer, it literally means it has been added to the co-op. Because I can't believe it makes me mad that I have to explain this every time. But people seem to have some weird fantasy that co-op is not a multiplayer. And in a sense, that is true. However, technically speaking, when you're looking at the code, it is a multiplayer game type. And that is my entire point here. If something gets added or is changed for multiplayer, it means it is directly usable for co-op. Because they are all same thing. It is only the rules change on the game mode, which means that the players are on the same side against the environment. That's it. Like, fundamentally, that's all that co-op is. When you break it down, the only real difference between a co-op and a multiplayer is all the extra bits you add, which is the essentially allowing co-op to be working on a single-player environment, where you have the story-driven campaign and all those other extra bits. But it still doesn't change the fact that just because you are playing on a single-player environment, you're still playing a multiplayer mode. And this is something people just... I don't get why don't they understand that it is that simple. They should be celebrating the shit that gets added to multiplayer, because it will be the same in...
Wetlands. Drop crate.
What do you call it? It will be the same for co-op. Especially on this game, because that's their entire design philosophy. This game is ground up to be a co-op multiplayer. Specifically the multiplayer. Like the whole single player aspect, that's just there. This game is designed to be co-op from the get-go. Single player is just like, alright, well, you know, we'll just give you the option to play alone. But the game from the ground up has been designed to be played with 4 players. It is a multiplayer game. And that's why they are making the multiplayer components now, all the features that needed, because that way they only need to add just the single player campaign once they have figured everything out, all the features and all that. They just need to create a single player campaign around the multiplayer mode. I mean, it is fucking amazing when you think about it, don't you think? I think so. Whatever. But enough of that. I've been ranting enough about this whole thing. Bleed out bites the dust. So yeah, I think that's enough of that rant. But just remember, everybody, a co-op is simply a multiplayer in a single-player map. That's it. There's nothing special about it. It is a multiplayer game type. Okay, did Joe just... He just lost will to live. Okay then, I'll just take these. Cool. 28,000 points without doing jack shit. Just ranting about the whole co-op versus multiplayer. And this is why I tell people to think. This is why I argue about it. Just think it for a second, like... Yeah. It's not... like, when you are complaining about that they are adding a feature to multiplayer, you're really just shooting yourself in the foot when complaining, because you are literally complaining that they're adding shit to the co-op. Like, that's the entire problem with that. So, yeah. Ooh, Powermonger just died in Industrial, but I'm nowhere near. I would be if I would be in the other door. But who knows? Maybe I can make it there in time. We got about 10 minutes or so. Let's see, is it this way? No, I went the wrong way. I can go to wetlands though. So yeah. Oh, hello. Is someone trying to stash points in there? Ah, no, it's inside. But yeah, I gotta say, it was a kind of a fun, no, well, not really fun experience, but yeah. So for you all wargame haters, just remember the next time you know, I really should find a picture somewhere. It was concept art of the menu and all that, and you could see like a mission types in it. Wargames was one of them, but it wasn't like actual the wargames that we are playing right now. It was like a co-op / single player variant, like an offline version. So just remember that next time you think that wargames doesn't progress co-op. Although it's not the single player campaign that we are all waiting in form of First Contact. But it's there. Someone gotta be camping this. Fuck it. YOLO. Yeah! Joe, you piece of... You alright there, buddy? Do you need help? Let's see. The wetlands is right. No, that's subarctic. Wetlands is that way. I'm going the right way. There we go. But yeah. Once again, I managed to do an entire rant for like half an hour. And that is what I do best. Just argue and rant and all that jazz. At the end of the day, I don't give a shit whether someone agrees with me or not. Nor whatever they think about me. I have my opinions, they have theirs, and that is fine. I'm not gonna hate them for it. That's just the life, how it is. But, Jazzmaster, you were asking... or here goes. You were asking earlier about whatever it will take up to 28 to come out in... basically in a year. I don't think so. And that is because, well... they want to... Hello. They want to make the updates more frequent. So, they would be going against their own word if they... I mean, it's entirely possible that they will... it might take a year to get Upgrade 28 out, who knows? But I don't think so. Well, close to subarctic though. I didn't spawn exactly by there. So yeah, I don't think it will take a year because they want to put smaller updates more frequently out. Although, well, gotta be frank and looking at the how things are now. I don't think it will take a year, but it will take. It's not gonna be as frequent as they would like, I suppose. But yeah. But then again, even if it does take a whole year to get that upgrade out, I'd say if the result is a new gun, engine update with better graphics and better performance, and having the lean in, I'm happy with those features. Couple other quality of life improvements, maybe like pressing space to stand up. Oh, actually, wait. Okay, yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what's up. Do you need to, like, double-click? No. I don't know. Oh, no. You don't actually stand up. You just do the... okay, so I get... Maybe it's... Wait, what the fuck? I don't even know anymore.
Alert. Canyon. Drop crate. ETA 60 seconds.
I know nothing. I'm just talking shit at this point. Because I just remembered you have the whole... when you're pressing and holding space, you will actually, like, look out of a cover. And I completely forgot that is actually a feature. And to demonstrate, it's like, alright, when you aim like this, you come up like... And if you press space, press and hold space, you're doing the same. And when you let go, you go down. I forgot that system is there, but I think if you tap it, you should just stand up. I think that's like, it's the same as like if I just click, I will aim down sights. If I hold, it is like the whole toggle and stuff like that. I mean, it could be maybe added to the same. So if you just press the button once, you will stand up. If you hold it, you will just raise your head, essentially.
Attention. Supply drop en route to subarctic. ETA 5 minutes.
Alright, this is gonna be the last box of the game. This is where the real fun begins. 300 meters away. Oh, and somebody just shot it out. And FBW got them. So they be here.
System disabled.
Ow.
Sync system enabled.
That was definitely a player who shot on my ass. Yep. Bye, die. Bring me 400. Oh my god. I suck so much. Well, that should be luring FBW nearby. I hopes. No scopes. Oh yeah, I remember someone said that the the Megalodon or whatever the dropship is, whatever. The ship has been relocated and they seem to be talking the truth. I never noticed it because I don't think I have paid any attention nor actually been around this section of the map since the last update when... yeah. Everybody wants a slinky, you gotta get a slinky, slinky go, slinky go. There's a crate. But where are the people who pillage it? Yoo-hoo! FBW! I got a lot of points to give. Who knows? Maybe they're still chilling up here. I mean, I would still sort of stick around the last crate, I suppose, in case other people decide to still come. Like, they roughly know where the location is, so... Alright, I just gotta stay alive for like, what? 20 seconds now? If I wanna win. I could just hunker down in a bunker, but I wanna ruin someone's game, including my own. Or maybe it is my own game that I wanna ruin. Hello, that looks like a potential 250 points. It was, and I couldn't pick it up. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Wargames tutorial. Thursday, we're gonna meet next week once again. Maybe I actually haven't checked my work timings as I will be going back to work, but yeah. Until next time, guys, see ya.